Good morning, everybody. Pastor Stitch, Narrow Path Christian Church, BC, Bay City, Michigan. Welcome to the Biker Devotional. So this morning, as I'm reading through my Proverbs, in Proverbs chapter 20, because it's the 20th day of the month, which hopefully you're still following through with that challenge, I read, "It's honorable for a man to resolve a dispute, because any fool can get himself into a quarrel." In recovery, we talk about all the time keeping our list short, our accounts short, keeping our side of the street clean, taking care of the stuff in front of us, making our amends quickly so that we can live a life of relative comfort. And I want to talk about that just a little bit today, because it's something we often do in a way that will give us the safety to do it. And by safety, I mean in a way that will make it so we don't have to take the abuse that may come at us by saying, "I'm sorry," right? So I go to somebody and I want them to recognize that, I know I did something wrong. And so I'm there in front of them, and I need them to know I recognized I did something wrong. But I also know that because I did something wrong, that I need to hear them express some truth into my life. And while I know some of the truth, I probably don't know it all. But them correcting me, that's going to be painful. That was the problem in the first place. Not necessarily, but I mean, it does happen that way, doesn't it? So I'm going to find a way to apologize so that I get my side of the street clean, and I can say my conscience is clear. I did my part without having to make any real change. The proverb says any fool can start a quarrel. And that's the truth. Often when we think about making this type of amend, we go to Matthew chapter 5 and we look at the fact that Jesus said, "So if you're offering your gift at the altar and there you remember that your brother or sister has something against you, leave your gift there in front of the altar. First go and be reconciled to your brother, then come and offer your gift." What we often miss, though, is reach a settlement quickly with your adversary while you're on the way with him, or your adversary will hand you over to the judge to the officer, and you will be thrown into prison. I assure you, you will never get out of there until you have paid the last penny. Jesus was reminding us this is a private conversation. When we're cleaning up our side of the street, our job is to pick the trash up, put it in the garbage bags, and throw it away. Oftentimes what we try to do, though, is get in the great big truck, point the plow blade to the other direction, and shove all the crap back on their side of the road. And then say, "Look, my side of the street's clean. I took care of it." So what I'm going to encourage you today, something I have to remember with myself, when you know that there's something that needs to be addressed, you have to make an apology, it's best done in private. And yes, when you do it in private, it means they're going to have an opportunity to have a conversation with you. But if you're making amends properly, you're not doing it with any expectation other than you are sincere with your apology and you want to hear their side. Whether it changes anything, they could just fully vent. And that means that you have no responsibility in that, and that's okay. But on the other side of it, you may come to them and apologize to them, and they may be able to say to you, "I understand exactly where you're coming from, and had I been able to finish what I was trying to explain, this is what I was trying to share so that it would benefit you." And you may walk away more complete and more whole, and with a greater brotherhood than ever before. But if you go publicly to do it, what you've told them is you don't trust them and that they can't trust you. And that makes for a much longer process, and very much like Jesus says, if it's not settled by the time it gets to the end, you're going to pay the penalty, and it's going to be a lot more costly. So just a thought for the day. Handling these things quickly is important. But handling them too quickly because you want to avoid the pain actually is more costly. And so I would encourage you truly to always weigh the timing. Do it in the right way for both parties. That means sometimes it takes a long time to clean up your side of the street so you can go to them and say, look, I know that I own this piece. Because if you don't, you might find that everything on their side of the street gets dumped on you and you don't have the bandwidth to clean it up too. It's just my thoughts for the day. I hope I helped someone. I love y'all. God bless and have a great day.